That was kind of weird. I'm trying out a new app to record the show this week, kids. This is the Late Night Picture Show with Murph Woodurf, your clown host. Ex-clown host. Before I get started tonight, look what I got. A creepy clown's coloring book. That's kind of a tongue twister for me. Now, I don't know who thinks clowns are creepy. I don't. But this will be a lot of fun for Charlie and I. Got it at Spooks in Salt Lake City. 3453 South State Street in Salt Lake City. Spooks Boutique. Can you see that? No, you can't see that. Anyway, tonight's movie, actually movies, The Crazies. The 1973 George Romero version and the 2010 newer version. I didn't make this graphic, by the way. Somebody did a side-by-side comparison of the two movies, which I'm not so much going to do. Because I wrote about it the first time I saw it. The Crazies is a 1973 Pittsburgh film directed by George A. Romero. Maybe you've heard of him. Night of the Living Dead? Dawn of the Dead? Day of the Dead? Yeah. Well, he strikes back with this tale of a killer virus which is inadvertently released on a small town, USA. After a father goes crazy, killing his wife and burning down his house. Yeah, that's pretty crazy. The army rolls into town, sporting white bunny suits. Okay, hazmat suits, because you all don't know what a bunny suit is. And gas mask, and they do nothing to ease the public's mind as they declare martial law and start herding people into the high school and grounds. With lack of communication, many people revolt. And our heroes, which include 2 volunteer firefighters, the girlfriend of one of the firefighters, a mentally slow teenage girl, and her father, they go on the run, claiming weapons and information from any of the army dudes they run across and, wipe out. Snuff. They take refuge at a country club, of all places, for a night. Meanwhile, the Army is trying to deal with the increasing number of crazed survivors gathering at the high school, and there's getting to be quite a few of them. And the fact that, well, let's just say that the virus didn't naturally occur. Our friends push on, trying to break the perimeter before it's sealed. They battle more soldiers and take up in a farmhouse. There it becomes apparent that the father and daughter and one of the firemen are sick. Yep, they've got it. The father even rapes his daughter in a feverish frenzy. Finally, one of the firemen and his girlfriend are forced to go it alone. They hide out in a brickyard. But it may be too late. Yeah. The Army's closing in. Are they really gonna escape? You'll have to watch it and find out for yourself. So this is the 1973 version right here. My clown gloves are getting in the way. I wrote at the time, by all appearances, Outbreak, starring Dustin Hoffman, is just a modernization of this film, which it was. I didn't know it at the time. The similarities are glaring throughout. Despite the low-budget feel of the picture, this is a really good one. And I'm going to give it 4. It's a 4-ring circus on part 1 of the Late Night Picture Show tonight. Part 2 would be the 2010 remake of the Crazies. Now, you all know how I feel about remakes. Most of them don't need to be made, but hell, if it brings the movie to a new audience, okay. So, this is a 2010 overture film picture, directed by Breck Eisner, who I'm sure you haven't heard of, and starring the guy from Deadwood and some other pretty actors. People got a lot prettier between 1973 and 2010. They got much prettier. Not in real life, but in the movies. In real life, they got much fatter. So this time around, it's the sheriff, his doctor wife, his deputy, and some teenage girl who go on the run as the scary army guys with gas masks swoop in, seal off the town, separating the healthy from the sick and strapping the sick to gurneys to die. The story stays fairly true until the end, which is a little more Hollywood. I'll leave it at that. I wouldn't say song and dance, but yeah. This was a much higher budget picture than the 1973 one. So they had more realistic looking hazmat suits. You know, they weren't just, disposable bunny suits. Better makeup, better film production, special effects, yada yada. However, it does add up to a well-done remake. but it doesn't add up to a better picture. And I give the 2010 version of the Crazies 3 rings, which is still middle of the road. Pretty good. So that's 4 rings for the 1973 version and 3 rings for the 2010 version. Both pretty good. Here's our friend Monkey. He's ready to go to work. Does my hair look funny? Let's see what we get. Maybe we'll go back to black and white next week. I found one movie on the floor. Almost escaped us. Y'all would have lost sleep if we missed Queen of Blood, right? It's back in here. Don't worry. So next week on the Late Night Picture Show, we have Lurkers. And I'll be completely honest. I don't remember at all what Lurkers was about or anything about it. But it'll come back to me when I read it. So don't fret. Lurkers next week on the Late Night Picture Show. This is Murph Woodurf. Good night, kids. See you next week. Maybe. Nah, just kidding. I'll see you next week.